Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU audiobooks. Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Continuing Education, Certificate Programs, Certificate in Food and Nutrition, CFN-3, Economics of Food, Block-2 Government's Policies and Programs, Unit-4 Government's Agricultural Policies and Programs. You are aware that the agricultural and non-agricultural sectors of a country are interdependent and every effort is being made to maintain a balance between them. In this unit you will learn about the governmental policies which seek to strike such a balance. You will also learn about agriculture subsidy, land reforms and various types of extension systems which aim to benefit the farmers. 4.0 Objectives. After studying this unit, you will be able to times describe the linkage between agriculture and other sectors, times define types of subsidies and their importance to agriculture, and times discuss various components of agriculture policy in India. 4.1 Introduction. The general economic development requires rapid agricultural development. The share of agriculture sector in national economy has declined to 18% in June 2005 from 55% in 1950 to 51. Despite this, role of agriculture is important in providing livelihood security to the people. Agricultural commodities are needed by all sections of people. Everyone needs food to eat which is produced by the agricultural sector. Industries need raw materials like sugarcane, cotton, coffee, tea, jute, etc. produced by the agricultural sector without which they cannot run the industry. Other sectors, they are called tertiary sectors or service sectors, also depend upon the agricultural sector for their business. These include the trading sector, the transport sector, the banking sector, etc., which, to a large extent depend upon the production in the agricultural sector to carry on their business. This is called forward linkage. At the *e time the agricultural sector is dependent on other sectors for its survival. This is called backward linkage. The industrial sector provides fertilizers, machinery, etc. to agriculture. Transporters carry these products to the farmers' fields. Farmers, in turn, need many non-agricultural products for their consumption. Thus, you see that there is both a forward and backward linkage between the agricultural and other sectors in the country. Because of such a linkage, the happenings in the agricultural sector will have a great impact on the other sectors of the country. An increase in the prices of agricultural commodities, say food items, would mean that people have to spend more on their food consumption and hence they will be left with less amount of money to spend on other items. This in turn means that the demand for non-agricultural commodities will be affected and hence the industrial sector will suffer because of low demands. Similarly, an increase in the price of inputs used by the agricultural sector will push up the cost of production of agricultural commodities and hence the price of the agricultural commodity itself will shoot up. So you see there should be a balance between the happenings in the agricultural and non-agricultural sectors. The agriculture sector made enormous growth after independence. The production of food grain has increased to 250 million tons in 2011-12 from 50 million tons in 1950 to 51. The production of other crops like oilseeds also increased many-fold. The horticultural, livestock and fisheries sectors also showed trends of increasing importance in national agriculture. The government, through its various policies, plays a significant role in promoting such progress in agriculture and such a balance between different sectors of economy. In this unit we will study the policies related to agricultural prices, input subsidies, land reforms, research and extension, agricultural taxation and other measures adopted by the government to boost the agricultural economy. We shall also study in brief the salient features of National Agriculture Policy 2000 and National Policy for Farmers 2007. 4.2 Agricultural Price Policy. Prices play an important role in decision making of farmers. Remunerative. Prices provide an incentive to the farmer in adopting capital-intensive modern technology and improved methods of production practices. Incentive prices motivate farmers to increase crop acreage through multiple cropping and improvement in land resources. Agriculture price policy protects the interest of the consumers by manipulating a level of issue prices and public distribution system. The price policy also deals with the task of meeting ambitious targets of procurement, particularly of the cereals. India was the first country in Asia to set up permanent institutional arrangements for handling agricultural price policy. The Government of India established an Agricultural Prices Commission in 1965 to advise on the price policy for specific agricultural commodities. The Commission also advises on the issue prices of fertilizers, pesticides, quality seeds and such other inputs. Since March 1985, the Commission has been known as Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, CAP. The minimum support prices, MSP, for major agricultural commodities are fixed by the Government, Ministry of Agriculture, each year, after taking into account the recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, CAP. Assurance of a remunerative and stable price environment is considered very important for increasing agricultural production and productivity, since the market price for agricultural produce tends to be inherently unstable, which often inflict undue losses on the growers, even when they adopt the best available technology package and produce efficiently. The MSP for wheat and paddy, common and grade A, since February 2001 onwards is given below. Table 4.1, Minimum Support Price for Wheat and Paddy. Look at the screen for table content. The minimum support prices of paddy and wheat have increased continuously. This is because of the increased cost of production in terms of labor wages, cost of inputs like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides and electricity. Charges. 4.3 Agricultural Subsidy. A subsidy is that component of total money which a buyer need not pay to buy a commodity. In other words, a subsidy reduces the cost of purchase of a commodity. Usually, subsidy is granted by the government to encourage the purchase of a particular commodity by the users. Hence, the price you pay to buy a commodity without any subsidy on that commodity will be higher than the price you pay for the same with some subsidy. The following illustration should clear the point. Let us say the price of 1 kilogram of groundnut seeds in the market is Rs. 11.00. If the government gives a subsidy of 20% to the farmers, then the actual price paid by the buyer will be price of the seed 11 rupees less subsidy of 20% 2 rupees and 20 paise. Net price paid 8 rupees and 80 paise. 4th March 2001. Why a subsidy? Subsidies are given usually to help the farmers buy better quality of inputs. Better quality of inputs, when used on the farms, will help increase the production in the agricultural sector. Because a majority of our farmers are small farmers and poor, they cannot afford to buy good quality inputs like improved seeds, fertilizers, plant protection chemicals, etc., at the market prices. It is estimated that about 72% of the farmers in India are small and marginal farmers. Their contribution to the production in the agricultural sector is very important if the total production has to improve. If they keep on using the locally available sources like seeds, manures, etc., the production will be low. The present improved technology in the agricultural sector is said to be capital intensive. The farmers need more money to adopt the improved technology on their farms. Improved technology in agriculture is usually a mixture of seed, fertilizer, water in proper quantities. All the three are costly inputs which, if bought at market prices, will be beyond the means of small farmers. At the same time, if the farmers do not use these inputs in required quantities, the yields on their farms and in turn, the total agricultural production in the country will be low. Hence, the government, both state and central, provides a variety of subsidies to the agricultural inputs to encourage the farmers to use better quality of inputs on their farms. The type and quantity of subsidies given depend upon the needs which arise from time to time. You are listening to this audiobook on Audio Learn IGNOU. 4th March 2002, Types of Subsidies. The subsidies given to the agricultural sector come in different forms. However, you should remember that all the subsidies are aimed at helping the farmers get their input requirements at lower prices than what they have to pay for the same in the open market. Figure 4.1 depicts the linkage of agricultural subsidies to consumer benefits. As per the World Trade Organization, WTO, agricultural production subsidies have been divided into two broad categories. These are the product-specific subsidies and non-product-specific subsidies. Let us discuss these subsidies in brief. 1. Product-specific subsidy. Price support program extended to the farmers by the Government of India comes under this category. This subsidy is called product-specific on account of the fact that separate support prices are fixed for each of the agricultural commodities covered under price support program. This price of a commodity is independent of the price of other commodities. 2. Non-product specific subsidy. Non-product specific subsidies are the subsidies extended to the different input factors used in the process of agricultural production. Subsidies on irrigation, agrochemical, electricity, seeds and agricultural credit come under this category. These subsidies are called non-product specific subsidies as the use of these inputs in the process of production is not product specific. All these inputs are used in the production process of each of the agricultural commodities grown by the cultivators. To understand the nature of subsidies given to agricultural inputs, a brief history of what happened in the mid-60s in Indian agriculture should be studied. The High Yielding Variety (HYV) program was launched in Indian agriculture with the introduction of Mexican varieties of wheat in 1964–65. These varieties were better than the ones used by the farmers till then. They were dwarf, would yield more than the earlier varieties and also had many other characteristics which were considered favorable. These varieties were also largely acceptable to the Indian farmers. But the main disadvantage faced by the farmers at that time was that they had to buy these seeds from the market. These varieties needed a higher use of chemical fertilizers and the farmers did not have enough money with them to buy these inputs. In fact, seed is the most important input for the growth of a plant. It was then that the Government of India and many state governments subsidized the farmers to buy. The National Commission on Finance (NCF) made wide consultations with various stakeholders throughout the country. The result of these consultations is accumulated in 5 reports. The NCF in its final report prepared a draft national policy for farmers. Based on the draft prepared by the NCF and after consultations with state governments and the central ministries concerned, Government of India approved the National Policy for Farmers, 2007. 4.10, let US some UP. All sectors such as agriculture, industry, trade, transport, banking are interlinked. They are dependent on each other. Any change in one sector has its influence on the other. Thus, the government plays an important role in keeping the balance between agriculture and non-agriculture sectors through its policies. Provision of subsidies is one such policy. Subsidies are given to farmers to buy quality inputs at lower rates for their farming. This reduces the cost of production of food, which indirectly helps you since the food price is dependent on the cost of production. Cooperative farming has put a stop to exploitation of cultivators. Investment in agriculture sector helps in the development of infrastructure, research and farm technologies. Other facilities available to farmers through various agencies are transfer of knowledge and technology through training programs. 4.11 Glossary. Backward linkage, agricultural sector creating a demand for products of the non-agricultural sector. Breeders' seed, good quality seeds developed by the scientists on research farms. Certified seeds, the seeds certified by the National Seeds Corporations. These seeds are used by the farmers for growing crops. Demonstration, showing the working of or showing evidence of. It is used to teach the farmers how to do a particular thing or convince them about the results of what is being taught. Foundation seeds, seeds distributed to the farmers' private agencies for the purpose of mass production of seed material. Foundation seeds are obtained by growing breeder seeds on a large scale. All-weather roads, roads which can be used in all weather conditions. Unaccountable, not measurable as specific units. 4.12 Answers to Check Your Progress exercises. Check your progress E. Exercise 1. 1. The agricultural sector is linked to all other sectors because all sections of the population require agricultural commodities, i.e., food items. An increase in the prices of the agricultural commodities would mean that people will have to spend more money to buy their food and hence they will be left with less amount of money to spend on other items. This, in turn, would mean that the demand for non-agricultural commodities will be affected and hence other industries will suffer because of the low demand. Similarly, the agriculture sector is dependent on other sectors for its survival. The industrial sector provides fertilizers, helps reach inputs to the farmers' fields, and the banking sector provides loans to the farmers. 2. Subsidies help the farmers to use better quality inputs such as improved seeds, fertilizers, plant protection chemicals, etc., and thus increase the agricultural production. If these subsidies are not given, the cost of agricultural inputs will be very high and the small and marginal farmers, who constitute about 72% of the total farmers, will not be able to buy good quality inputs and hence the production will also be low. Thus the subsidies help in lowering the cost of production of agricultural commodities and increasing its production. This benefits all consumers. Certain types of subsidies such as writing off loans in times of distress like drought and floods help the farmers to continue in their production. In the absence of such subsidies, farmers will sell their lands and livestock at low prices and migrate to urban areas in search of a livelihood. thus affecting the agricultural production in the country. 3. The agricultural inputs for which subsidies are given by the government are seeds, fertilizers, irrigation, water, electricity, agricultural implements, agricultural loans minikits. 4. The production of good quality seeds is a complicated process and requires a lot of expenditure. The research organizations which evolve good quality seeds after a series of trials are run by the government. Similarly, organizations like National Seeds Corporation and State Seeds Corporations, which are certification agencies for the quality of seeds and supply certified seeds to the farmers at much lower prices, are all run by the government. The government spends huge amounts of money on running these organizations, and this cost is not transferred to the farmers. Government spends on extension programs for better production. This expenditure is also non-transferable. Thus the non-transfer of these costs to the farmers is also a subsidy, because the farmers would have to pay a huge price for good quality seeds if these subsidies did not exist. Apart from high prices, the farmers would lack the information and knowledge for taking advantage of subsidies. Check your progress exercise 2. 1. There are 4 types of extension programs in India. I. Extension Service of the State Departments of Agriculture. 2. Extension Activity of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, and State Agricultural Universities, SAU. 3. Extension Program of Input Industries in Public and Private Sectors and NGOs. 4. Special Rural Development Programs of the Central and State Governments. 2. ATMA is Agricultural Technology Management Agency. It is an autonomous body which promotes extension reforms at the district level to make grassroots extension system more farmer-centered. Thank you. We will see you in the next video.